Thanks for staying with us. This is Newsline. We're talking about mainlanders in Hong Kong. Are there too many of them? And later on, we'll talk also about the controversial sale of hotel rooms to home buyers. With me is Gary Fan, a member of the New Democrats and also a legislative councillor, and of course Louis Shi, who's been here several times before from the New People's Party. Now, before the break, Louis Shi said that in some cases it's getting out of hand. I think you say it's getting out of hand because the way we treat mainlanders, right?
Yes, the attitude towards. Because I want to protect my children. Gary, if one day our children living in Hong Kong receive news there's a shortage of water, and now the upstream water will go to Shenzhen, and the downstream water, of which is more polluted, will come to Hong Kong. Will you protest?
Oh, I think the priority of the government is to solve the problems of Hong Kong people face. Okay, that's the very first priority the government should do. Instead of just protect the freedom of the tourists, the freedom of the traveler coming to Hong Kong to do their shopping, we have to make a balance. You have to make a balance. And my solution is simple. My solution is not that complicated. First, the government needs to do a comprehensive review. We examine, the individual visit scheme and Hong Kong tourism capacity. Okay, whether Hong Kong can continue to accommodate the increasing number of travelers. Okay. Second, we need to set a cap of the individual visit scheme.
But no society, as the government pointed out, sets a cap on tourists.
No. There's some city in other part of the world they set a cap on a tourist. If the increasing number of tourists will hurt the, let's say, the ecological
What cities
environment.
are these? I don't know.
There's some cities in other places. They protect their environment. They do that. You just won't let unlimited traveler coming to a particular city.
Well, let me give you some figures.
And then the third solution is, in short run, we need to change the multiple entries permit to one entry permit per day. And then in the long run, we have to cancel once and for all in order to stop those illegal trading activities in Hong Kong.
But Louis Shi, one entry a day seems fair because if you're a legitimate tourist, you will only enter once.
No.
Not 2 or 3 or 4 times a day.
No,
why would you do that?
Sorry, I do not agree.
Why?
Because people from Hong Kong are living right across the border, increasingly. And people living in Shenzhen, many of them have residents just south of the border. They need to travel back and forth. Their children of Hong Kong that are having schools here in
but those can be the exception, because if you cross the Canadian-US border...
But about exception. I mean, are you going to create...
You do, because if, like, at the Canadian-US border, in the state of Washington, where I used to live in Seattle, there are fast lanes for frequent travelers after they go through a check.
This is not sustainable, trying to limit them rigidly to once a day. Because, according to studies...
I mean, for those who have genuine need to cross several times a day, they can be identified,
how do you draw the line?
Verified, and then they get a special pass to cross.
Why can't they come to Yam Cha, have some dim sum in the morning, and come back in the afternoon for a business meeting?
Why can't they?
Why can't they?
Because
why are you so rigid? I mean, isn't it
not
freedom?
About whether we are rigid.
Freedom
we are talking about if we want to promote the development of tourism in Hong Kong, we have to attract those tourists come to Hong Kong, stay in our hotel, to go to prime tourist spot and attraction to spend the money. We don't welcome tourists come to Hong Kong to compete the resources with other Hong Kong residents. This is not the way to go. This is not a healthy situation.
If you can only leave Hong Kong, once a month, can you like that to restrict your personal freedom?
Our chief executive even make this clear. Say it in his election manifesto. Said he would ask the central government to extend the multiple entry scheme to other cities. As you say,
I think that's not going to happen now.
But he stopped it already 6 months ago because he already saw the problem. The situation is getting worse, getting out of hand.
Well,
Hong Kong just cannot handle
let's give
more.
some figures. Last year, I think the latest figures we have was something like 34, 35 million mainlanders came, and the projection is it's going to be like 50 million in the next year or two, every year coming to Hong Kong. That will be like 4 or 5 million a month coming to Hong Kong.
Michael,
Can we handle 4 or 5 million? We're a city of 7 million.
Do you know I always say that we should increase it in a stepwise manner? Because this is going to be what's going to happen. People from China are already complaining. When they come to Hong Kong, they want to see something different, a different city from China. But now when they travel here during the New Year,
everybody's a mainlander.
all the same. I mean, if you go to Japan during the New Year, all these shopping malls are filled with Hong Kong people, and people seem to lose interest now because they want to go to some place different.
Where you're exposed to a different culture.
Sooner or later, when the situation change, people who have been to Hong Kong will not like to come anymore because people here have a negative attitude towards them.
Of Hong Kong
and then
people.
there will be, and all these commodities can be easily purchased in China, easily. And
in
then
the future, not now.
They are not coming anymore. Sooner or later, when they are got fed up, when they have been here several times.
But I want to go into
and
this.
then we're going to extend these multiple entry or individual scheme, of course, to other countries. And then what, Michael? And then what?
You know, you remind me of the unhappy incidents during the Lunar New Year, right? There's a 4 tour group come to Hong Kong because of the problem of their travel agents. Yeah, the travel agents did not secure enough hotel room for them to stay in Hong Kong, so they have to sleep in the car, right? Those are unhappy stays in Hong Kong. They're hurting the reputation of Hong Kong as a paradise for shopper. They won't come back, as you say. But the reason why is because, you know, the Hong Kong capacity to accommodate tourism is reached its limit. So that's why we need to better manage.
You know, I've got 5 minutes here now. We need to better manage this. But, you know, one last question on this issue. There is a cultural difference. Even though mainlanders and Hong Kong people are both Chinese, there is a cultural difference because in the past few days, I've been amazed to read and see pictures of mainlanders, babies urinating into bottles, into restaurants, or even having bowel movements on the aisle of aeroplanes. And Hong Kong people are saying, this is quite amazing because, you know, who would have a baby have a bowel movement on the aisle of an aeroplane?
Quite disgusting.
But that's what happened, and there are pictures to show that. Is that aggravating? Do you see this as a time bomb? I mean, Louis Xi wants more mainlanders to come. You don't. Do you see this as a time bomb that something's going to explode?
A time bomb, and the tourism board should do more things to introduce our Hong Kong culture to the inbound tourists. When they come to Hong Kong, the tourism board should, you know, to hand out leaflet to tell them certain kind of behavior. It's not allowed in Hong Kong to educate them. And that's what we do, and that's what other cities, other places to do.
This is very disappointing to hear words like time bomb, to hear, say, some children urinate on the street. These are so many people coming. This is just such a small minority, and you are using this as giving a very wrong impression.
I'm just citing it as an example. It happened, and that's what people say is not right.
Please accept them. They're different. Just like Gary, I really admire you. We have to fight for right for people with different sexual orientation. They are different from us, but being different doesn't mean we have to have such a negative attitude. What about Hong Kong people? We are all new immigrants in the 60s, and these are our brothers and sisters. Let's live together. There's no way. I'm glad I'm living in Hong Kong. There's no any other city on this earth I want to live because our relationship with China, and I like this place. So please, just be a bit more decent.
Okay, let's live together very quickly, then I'm going to move on to the hotel. Let's live together. Can we live together? Let's get along.
Of course we can live.
Why can't we get along?
Get along together, but with good policy and management of the tourism business.
Yes, I agree.
Not just.
Now, you know, I've got a couple more minutes. You know, you talk about lack of accommodation. Something amazing happened recently, a few days back. Cheung Kong sold one of his hotels, Apex Horizon in Kwai Chung. People thought they were buying homes rather than hotel rooms, but in fact, they're buying hotel rooms, and these people who bought this have got to understand that these are hotel rooms. Do you think it's the right thing that Chen Guang did?
I think Chen Guang must have huge teams of solicitor and lawyer to work with him before he do a close scrutiny of all the regulations and laws in Hong Kong before he sell those hotel room to the public. So I think it's a fight between Chen Guang and the government over this.
Is it a slap
issue.
in the face of the government?
Definitely.
A slap in the face of the government, what Chen Guang did?
I don't know about whether this is a slap on the face or not, but I only know people who have bought these units, they're now very happy. They want to buy more, but it's all sold out.
Would you buy
and
one?
I know, of course, if someone offer me,
you would buy it.
because we lack a hotel space, right? We lack hotel accommodation. I think it's a good investment. And I don't agree with you, Michael, when you said people who bought this think they are buying a home. Of course they know they are buying something different because the price differential is so big. I mean, I lived in Canada for many years.
But they don't know that the added hidden charges are going to be very high. You're going to pay for the hotel operation, hotel management.
Of course. You have to, the agreement is there. Of course, these will be operated as a hotel and not as like individual home. People should know when they buy these things.
Do you think would you buy one?
I will. I definitely would.
Tell
do
me
such
why.
a thing. I think it's a riskiest purchase of a hotel room as a residential flat.
But high risk, high return.
Does it hurt the image of property developers?
We're just talking about Hong Kong capacity, do not have enough hotel room. But and on the other side, we buy hotel room as an investment.
Gary Fan,
this is not the right thing to do.
Do you
I
think
can't buy a whole hotel, but I can buy a hotel room.
Has it hurt the image of property developers that they're looking for loopholes to make more money, avoid the new
it will
stamp
hurt the
duty?
image of the
It's like the so-called
developer.
地产霸权, property hegemony.
yeah.
It will make that feeling even worse, right?
Definitely.
You think that will happen?
I think this is a new product in Hong Kong that Hong Kong people are not familiar with. It's very common in other countries. So we will see how things unfold.
Well, let's see how things go. We've got to end the show right here now. See you next week. Good evening.